Welcome back. Welcome back to Two Nigerian Women. My name is Ibukun.
Hello, everyone. My name is Abidemi, and welcome to today's episode. Glad you
Yes,
joined us in the studio. So, what
thank you
are we
so much.
talking about today?
We are talking about, you can see it in the title. I must put a caveat. I'm very annoyed right now. We are talking about politics. It's one that people shy away from as well as religion, as they phrase it, and money. But we're going to talk about it. We'll talk about hard things. There are some things we have always said we won't talk about. Politics isn't one of them. We will talk about it. I live in the UK with Sisi.
Mm-hmm.
We both live in the UK. We are Nigerian by origin. And if you put those two together, the political landscape in those two countries are a mess, as they are around the world. But right now, excuse me, the one that concerns us is Nigeria, because we still have relatives there, as well as the UK. So this is 2024 for anyone listening back to this in the future. And we've just voted in a new government
Yep.
in the UK. It was very contentious because for the past, oh dear, I think I'll say 10 years. See,
No,
was it 10 years
it's more
since
than
Cameron came in,
yes.
right?
We had the
Yeah,
coalition government. It's more than 10 years.
more than 10 years.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah, because after, okay, this is layman's terms. By the way, we're not
Gordon
politicians.
Brown.
We're voters, if you will. Yeah. So Cameron came in. It was a general election, and the UK is different to in terms of the way we
Parliamentary
vote.
system. Yeah.
Yeah, we vote for a person in our local constituency
Yes.
to have a seat in Parliament.
Yep.
And if the party gets the most seats, then whoever leads the party becomes the prime minister.
Yep.
That's how it works.
Yep.
Straightforward layman terms.
Yep.
That's how the voting system works in the UK. So
So since
you
2007,
2007. Wow.
wait, let me just
When did Cameron get into power?
leader of the Labour. Oh, 2000, sorry, 2010.
Okay,
2010 May. Yes, so yes, 14 years. So I'm almost 15.
14 years.
Correct, yes.
Okay, so we've not had a general election like we've had recently since 2010.
Yes.
And this was when the Conservative government took over from the Labour government. Labour
Yeah.
was not doing well. They all seem to have a record of not doing well. It's sad,
After
but
a while.
that's exactly. So Cameron came in. He started doing well because I think that was the tail end of the recession, if anyone remembers that time period.
Mm-hmm.
So the world as a whole was coming out of recession. So things were looking good.
Mm.
He now decided at some point in his tenure to do a vote on whether or not the UK should stay in the EU.
Yep.
As we say from Nigeria perspective, katakata burst. Everything just became a mess. It was the remainers and the leavers. That was how the UK was divided.
Mm-hmm.
When the election finally happened, by a margin, it was voted that we, as a country, the UK, leaves the EU. He now decided to resign from his position. And literally, who took over then? It I forget, was it Theresa May? Theresa May, a lady.
And she was Home Secretary. And
She
then
was exactly. So she was already in the cabinet,
mm.
and the Conservative Party quickly did a reshuffle. She became head of Conservative Party. She took over prime minister. So we didn't vote her in. Technically, we did not vote her in. Then she carried on for as long as she could. It became a mess again.
She was pushed out. It was like a palace coup.
It was a party coup, internal party coup.
Yes.
You know what they say? There's no honor amongst thieves.
Yep.
They turn on themselves eventually.
Yep.
Anyways, they took her out, and then Boris Johnson, who was a big advocate for the UK leaving the EU, and this is not the reason why we're even having this conversation, but just so you get the history.
Background, yeah.
Boris Johnson came in, then COVID hit. Then the whole world once again became a mess. He himself contributed to the mess. Everything is a mess. pretty much. And this is not me being negative. This is just talking about the political state. That does not mean the children of God do not thrive in messes, because we thrive. Now, coming to 2024, was it June we voted? I forget. Yeah, no, it was July. It was July 4th. Funny, ironically enough, Independence Day for the states. That was when we voted here in the UK.
Yeah.
And the Labour government has come back in. And the new Prime Minister is Keir Starmer. I'm not going to disrespect his office and his seat. He's a leader, and that's what
That is
has happened.
yes.
That's that. But I did not vote for him. I'll put that plainly out there. I did not vote for him because I did not like the manifesto. I did not like the principles that they were pushing around. I did not vote for him. I won't say who I voted for, but I did not vote for Labour. Now, why am I annoyed, Sisi? Please help me ask.
Why are
Please.
you on, please?
I saw on the news they are going to lift the two-child benefit cap in the UK.
So yes, to more taxes. Cheers.
So, Ibukun, why would that annoy you? Shebi is child benefit. It's good for the children.
It's
Okay.
taxes. It's taxes. We run our own business, and I know how much we pay in taxes. It's
See,
taken off us before we even get our profits. Like even
see,
on our profits, we are paying a chunk.
look. This is the unfortunate good bad thing about the UK. It's a welfare state where we take care, quote unquote, of our own, but to the detriment of others. And that is a cannibalistic
Still,
that is a cannibalistic principle in life. Because if everyone is being taken care of, no one would have any cause for upset.
yes.
I have two children. Forget cap. None of my children get child benefit because I earn over $55,000
Yeah.
dollars
Oh,
pounds across myself and my husband. Once you are over £55,000,
yeah.
you not get child benefit. And you're like, that's a lot of money. Please, where do you live? There's a lot of money. In the UK, it's not a lot of money.
If you talk
It's
about
not.
you provide bills, you have water, gas, electricity, you have council tax, you have your mortgage. If you have a mortgage, anything like anything.
Yeah, spent £100.
Yeah, you can't even say, let me just go to the cinema. Like I was watching something yesterday with Steve, and somebody was saying, oh, we're going to the cinema. Can you imagine how much a cup of the tiny this thing of ice cream is? And someone said, just ask for £4 with the wooden
£4.
spoon. Like I would rather not. Like the prices of things outside me made me stay in my house, kind of thing. So I know I definitely
It's first world problem, right?
know.
Now it's first world problem. The thing that is annoying me as I go into my Nigerian accent is my children do not get child benefit. But out of my tax pounds that you are about to increase again, you will now start giving child benefit to more children, whilst my children are not getting the benefit. This is unfair. This is unfair. You can't go around in life telling me the old cliche of life is not fair. I understand that. But why are you dumping on me? That's what is really aggravating me today. That is it.
Well, for me, I didn't vote for either. I was not interested. I just feel that they're all the same. Like I've actually met my local MP in my local store, and I've seen him break a rule while driving. He was breaking because he was staring at me and I was staring at him. He was using his phone while I was driving. I would never forget that.
And why do police catch people like that?
I don't know. He was going to local Tesco and was doing his phone like this, and he saw I was looking at him because we're driving the same car.
Yeah.
And I was looking at him like, seriously, it was a Sunday morning. I was seriously staring him down. He was trying to hide his phone. Whenever they want to interview him, the BBC, he quickly runs to this area. He doesn't live in this area. He run here. They will interview him. They will not plaster where he is. They will not run back to where he lives.
Where does he live? By way of interest.
I think he lives in Brookman's Park.
Oh, no.
Yes.
No. This is what It doesn't matter where in the world politicians.
know where you stay. You know where you stay. We were supposed to have units of houses on an old airfield there. They didn't approve the plans. Guess what is occupying the airfield?
What?
His private plane.
He has a private plane. What does he need
Yes.
private plane for? See,
So he was
let me
and
just
not
let me
sure.
just make this statement. I know not everyone is evil in this world, but unfortunately, the party of politicians,
They're all the
80%,
same.
80% of them, it doesn't matter what country, first world, developing world, whatever you want to call it, they are the same. They just steal money in a different kind of way.
Like,
How
I beg to
does
agree, but let's just leave it let's just leave it there. But I beg to disagree.
you can disagree, and
No,
it's
no,
okay
no,
to disagree.
it's not in terms of all the ruffle that's going on here. The person I supported in Nigeria is nothing, absolutely nothing like these ones. Absolutely not like
See,
typical.
some people would beg to differ. I met someone recently. They would beg to differ. They have receipts.
Dude, I want to see those receipts. I would like to see that because we always end up demystifying all those receipts. Anyway, so to
Ah,
an extent, he is
well,
is a class above the rest in terms of
hmm.
the way he treats, the way he deals with people, the way he
Oh,
carries
you're
himself.
talking about the person in Nigeria.
Yes, the way he carries
Oh,
himself.
we
So
are not get to the person in Nigeria in a few short minutes, but let's
no,
close off the
not that
person in the.
I said the person I supported.
I said, let's go to Nigeria in a second,
Okay,
Sisi. Let's go to Nigeria in a
so
second.
yeah, so
Why here?
I,
Uh-huh.
I don't necessarily believe that they're all the same.
Ah,
Them that are a bit humane, but the ones
mm.
that are standing out are few and far between. You can literally count them on one hand. So that is a discussion for another day. But then again, and all the people that are supporting this our Labour government, they are the ones that are still going to cry tomorrow of the same government. And I'm here for it. Because I don't see any difference between either or. The conservative,
Of words, in my opinion.
the,
Because
the lines are so blurred. You don't know who is who. So and they're gonna they're gonna show themselves, they're gonna show their hands. We are seeing it. Everybody's sitting, holding hands, kumbaya. The gloves will be off by 31st of December. And then we start licking our wounds and then start talking about can we have another general election? Till then, you know what? I'm not gonna bother myself about all these people. I send my children to a fee paying school, and already we're going to be taxed on school fees. It's not
mhm.
my fault that I work hard for my money, not your money. I'm not in politics. Send my children to school. So
How did you say that? How did you say that?
you
It's
can
your fault. It's your fault.
not for the life of me expect me to still pay taxes on the money that I have saved to send
Yes, so
children to school. Make
yes.
it make sense.
How very dare you to be able to save enough money for a private school? That's uncalled for because everyone should be on the same level. That's the problem. Because think about it. The
With
socialists.
T junction is a big
Mhm.
T. We're going to meet there because matter are going to come to a head. It is not a cause. It is not a
It's a way of nature. Mhm.
politics. Always finds a way of unraveling, demystifying people that you have put on some kind of pedestal. That demystification has started in the UK. The one in Nigeria had started since last year. But in fact, before last year, but a lot of people were in la
Mhm.
la la. I saw
Mhm.
this in relation to Nigerian. I just want to read.
Yes, we're going to go. Well, let's talk about the Nigerian state now.
I saw something that somebody um wrote. Yes, let me read it. This person
Mhm.
wrote it on the 2nd of August 2022 on Twitter. The person said, a lot of Nigerian elites are heavily invested in this Jagaban project. Jagaban is
The president.
that Tinubu got from Bonu Empire, Bonu Kingdom. And
Okay.
all self-interest. So all the
Okay.
like,
Mhm.
but it will end in tears. Not
Mhm.
that he won't win the election, in quotes, Nigerian masses may well allow it. But the
Mhm.
allies will realize too late that it was a miscalculation. Demystification has already started. This is
Mhm.
somebody. In fact, there are a lot of people that I have kept at arm's length. And I'm sorry if you're just getting to find out it's intentional. You
Mm.
cannot, for the life of me, be supporting a cabal as far as I'm concerned. You are talking about Lagos, that he built Lagos. He didn't build Lagos. Lagos was a colony before anything, and it used to be the capital of Nigeria at some point. So
It was.
the groundwork was already set. You cannot say he built Lagos. Where were the Mobolaji Bankantonis and the Jakondes and the Raji Rasakis of this world that were governors of Lagos or military administrators? You cannot say he built Lagos based on Agberoism, taxes, what levies here and there. And then you're now crying that things are not the way. This was not what he promised you. My dear, he didn't promise you anything. You promised yourself because you thought he was some kind of leader that was going to lead you to the promised land. Unfortunately, the promised land is filled with locusts. Locusts are already eating the crop before you got there. So Remy, you're having remnants. So no
Yeah.
problem. We are here. We are demystifying, we are watching all you all, we are seeing, we are noticing, we are knowing. You know, sometimes it's always good for us as
Mm.
individuals to sometimes take a back seat and watch how people moan. I don't want to sound like a sulking Sally because I have been sulking since last year. But
Exactly. So you are sulking now, see.
so,
So sound like
yeah,
let's let Sally say what she
no,
needs to
but
say.
sometimes you
Eh,
allow people unravel. That is
you have to.
in the Nigerian society. So I am very happy that hunger, strife,
Mm.
insecurity, lack of social amenities, taxes want to kill the common man. People are no longer standing on the mandate. The mandate is not standing on some people's heads, and sometimes some of them the mandate is choking them. It's not choking them,
Oh,
it's choking them. So it's
yeah.
okay. So for me, that's a, see, I'm a bitter Betty. Leave me alone. I'm a bitter Betty. I have said my own. For I am happy all this is happening. It's not somebody that is trying to paint somebody bad. You are actually showing your hand. I'm very,
Oh,
you know what? I was never actually even into politics. I didn't care. It was just one time when Obasanjo was president, my daddy said, "Oh, you guys should go and vote, you know, because it's military, it's this, it's
mm,
that." So we went to vote. But I don't think
mm,
after that 2003 that I voted, I don't think I
mm,
voted again. Because the hassle to change my voting polling station from where I used to live to where I moved to, I could not be bothered. And I was living in the
mm.
country, so I haven't really voted since then.
Them.
Yes.
Mm.
So I'm quite, except until the recent one. But it was, I never really did. So for me, you're an outsider looking in, but I was never really interested in politics till somebody showed his hand and I decided to become heavily invested in it. You
Okay.
you have situations where,
Mm,
especially being in this country, that you're an active part of the society, like your feelings are valid to a certain
mm,
extent, your vote
mm,
is valid. I started
mhm,
seeing myself in the big picture of a Nigerian project, and a Nigerian project that can work for all and not for some.
mhm.
I'm heavily invested. This is 2022, and I have continued on that trajectory, and I have no regrets for being very political. In fact, my children know I'm very political. They know who I support, who I supported. Till today, you will hear them say things, and they are very familiar with what is going on.
With the names, yeah.
Yes, in the Nigerian society or Nigerian political scene. But yes, I have rant over. I have said my bit, so I'll just leave it to you, and I will chip in a little bit. But yes, I'm done.
You leave it to an angry person. But don't worry, rationality shall come back to my mind shortly. Let me just reel off some cliches that
Yes.
unfortunately are very true. The people get the government they vote for.
Yep.
And it sounds like of course, but this is more of course than anything else in this day and age.
Yep.
You are subject to what is in power, which is why the other cliche of use your vote, because if you don't use it, you can't complain, is
Yes.
also true. That's the second one. The third one is misery loves bedfellows. So everybody is miserable together, whether you like it or not.
Hunger.
Everybody You voted or you did not vote, you voted for the person in power or you did not vote for them,
Mm-hmm.
everyone is enjoying the misery together. And it's up to you to choose joy, which I need to get my mind out of this recent funk with what's going on in the UK,
Yeah.
and just choose joy.
Yes.
Back to why we are where we are. And this, I'm going to take left field because I'm a Christian. For those of you that listen to us, you know we're Christians. When the Israelites decided to select a king, the prophets warned them, this thing you want to do where you are not subject to God as your ruler anymore, it's going to get you into trouble. They
Yep.
said, we want to be like everybody else. We don't care what you say. We want a king. Your king has materialized, world. You have king in Nigeria, you have king here in the UK. We actually have a literal king here.
Yep.
That one we can't choose. But the prime minister you chose, whoever is listening to this in the UK that voted for this person, you chose. The prime minister elsewhere you chose. And the world is so bloody minded right now. You're like, okay, yes, they're in power. So what? So what is it affects the quality of your life,
Yep.
whether you like it or not. It
Yep.
does. And the Bible does tell us pray for those in power. Literally, because it doesn't matter how they got there, they are there. It doesn't matter how long they are there for, they are still there. You now need to pray that any skoy, for those of you that don't get it, any madness in their head is diverted from the point of important decision making so that they don't put you into more misery.
Yeah.
Think about it, though. Think about it, because what you are seeing is scratching the surface. It
Yep.
wasn't until recently, and this is not conspiracy because it's the information is out there, that I realized Keir Starmer is part of the World Economic Forum.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what? How did no one use this against him in the campaign? Is beyond me. Go read it up. It's too long a story to be explaining what it is. But in my opinion, I will never, ever subscribe to the
Mm-hmm.
policies of the World Economic Forum because it has end times written all over it. It's not conspiracy, it's just literally who they are and what they say specifically
Yep.
with no shame what they stand for. How the leader of the UK, one of the old superpowers, if you will, and still part of the NATO 8 and part of all these huge, things that being said and done, wants to
Yep.
put us in the World Economic Forum, people, and you voted for him, you can't be helped. You can't. Only God can save us right now. That's the sad bit of it. We'll continue to pray and do what we need to do. But for me, what I see as part of a country that I love, I genuinely love the UK. Not because of what it's given to me, it's just because I feel at home here. And once again, it's not because of what it's given to me. It's literally home. It has a place in my heart, if you will. And frankly, what I see happening right now is very concerning, very concerning. That being said, as most Nigerians, we have family all around the world. Let's go and see America. Let's knock on the door. What in the world just happened? Like we say in Yoruba land, Kilon Shele, what is going on? Baba Oni Baba, Mr. Biden, they told him he should go and sit at home with his family. And Madam Kamala has decided to step in.
I think you're jumping the gun. We need to go back to what happened last week. They
What's
said
the assassination attempt?
yes. See, that set off a lot of things because a lot of
Whoa!
people are now invested in politics that they were not necessarily really interested in, and it is something that has now been used.
Mhm.
Whether or not you agree it happened or didn't happen, that's besides the point. It's now being used as a campaign strategy to further popularize Donald Trump.
Well,
It happened. There were already shirts that saw with his hand raised like Mandela.
What the day after?
Yeah,
No, but that is quick turnaround. That's the world we live in right now.
in fact,
That's
news kind of thing. You know, we were doing the Bibles. There was the Bibles, the Pray for Trump Bibles that he was selling on campaign grounds. And
oh,
so
wow.
the T-shirt, the stickers, the face cap, the all of that. In fact, someone on Twitter put a picture of Jesus, not like we have any picture of Jesus, and almost like superimpose like they cut Jesus ear on the cross, so one thing. It's just crazy, but they are using it is what it is. So there's a lot.
It is what it is.
And then that was last week. It was the audacity, as far as I'm concerned. Because even the shooter, like when you look at politics behind it, it doesn't make any sense. Now we're
No.
moving on that, and then this week we have Biden stepping down, and then we have Kamala. And in the space of I think 24 hours, she had raised
Yes.
over
It's $1 million.
oh, 8 million. It's $1 million. So when you look at it, what's in the flipping whatever is going on in America? What is happening?
See, you know when boss meets bass, that's what is going on.
It's
Boss has bass, they are bass boying. Look, Americans, I beg of you, I have family there. Please help me help them. Please do not vote for stupidity. They are both of them have flaws. To be fair, they have flaws. But if you vote on principle and God helps them with sticking to that principle, I think that's the right choice. Personally, making it simple. It's not who we've historically voted for,
Mm.
whether we are Democrat or conservative in our way of living. Look at what they stand for. Look at
I
what.
think that for me, that is the problem. I have a particular party that I always support.
Mhm,
Look at your principles are not aligning with what I am seeing, and it seems like you're all over the place, then I'd
mhm,
rather not get involved. So you don't have to vote along one party line because whether they are right or they are wrong. And that's the problem that we have in Nigeria.
mhm.
Because whether someone right or wrong is my party, I'm going to support. Because I had family friends and even family friends and relatives that will go like, we cannot live our own. Who is our own? Are we talking about Nigeria that works for us or Nigeria that works for a particular few, a particular that works for one ethnic group? Can we make it make sense?
None of it makes sense.
People that will bring the argument of, oh, when Buhari was there, the Northerners didn't do anything. It's just crazy. So when you look at it, you say, oh, we cannot live our own. Anybody that's voting against our own, they are bastard. There's nothing that was not said. Can we
Mhm.
please strip tribe, religion from all of it and come down to the basic? What do they stand for? What do you see? Is this person relatable? Can this person speak for me? There's a difference between a leader and a ruler. And unfortunately, in Nigeria, we have rulers, not leaders.
Mhm.
Leaders, the people come first. Rulers, they come first. So like me. What were we hearing? It was me.
Mhm.
It wasn't as a collective. It wasn't us Nigerians. It was me. Awaloko, me loko, awaloko. That's what we. It's our turn. It's our turn. Our turn for what? Foolishness and strife. Okay, now it's our turn for hunger. Oh yeah, now let's start.
No. It's an attempt to steal. That's what it meant.
And now,
And that's exactly what is going on.
and recently we heard that because of the whole Dangote thing that's happening, he
That one surprised me.
his refinery. He said he paid $100 million for the land.
Mm.
Whereas they made all those ballers in that area to surrender their land for nothing. Guess how much they gave them?
How much?
I don't know how many ballers, $4.1 million out of 100 million. So they didn't even know that money was collected from Dangote. But why
Well,
Dangote speaking? Because they have started attacking his business.
Kai. And Dangote is a huge business mogul.
Yeah, it's a huge business
Wow.
that has benefited from destroying other people's business. We're talking about somebody before we started our conversation. That's what's happening to him. Do I feel sorry for him? Hell to the heck no. Because you've had situations. We had St. Louis. Have you heard of St. Louis Sugar? We had Bassett
Yes.
in
Yes.
Illinois. Have you heard of
Yes.
Bassett Sugar before? Now,
One, but I know it. I remember.
only Dangote Sugar. You can't see another sugar.
Mm.
There's Ibeto Cement. There is Bako Cement. Have you heard of them since? Because Dangote is in the running.
I remember. No, it's now become Dangote Cement, right?
He has his limestone factory in other countries. There's cement is cheap. In Nigeria, is one of the most expensive things.
Mm.
They said Coca-Cola used to buy sugar from one company. He blocked them. They now had to go to him. It was too expensive. They now started buying from Benin Republic. Do you know he went to block the route for that? They had to come to him and increase the prices. So this cry, lights, they took a gamble that was not in their favor. Now they are now talking.
Now they're prime.
When that man's property was demolished on the
Landmark, I mean.
did any of them say anything? I didn't even know who. None of them spoke because it was better than them. Now they're crying. An injustice to one is an injustice to all. If you don't stand for one person, they will come for you and there'll be nobody to stand for.
To stand on. See, it's like that episode we did when we were talking about lies we tell ourselves. When you said that, it reminded me of the lie when we said, because it's not affecting me, it doesn't concern me.
Yes. Now,
Exactly.
I also cry. Every 2 AK market days, Dangote is releasing video, talking and talking. This is someone that never said anything before.
I did not knew what he looked like.
And
very vocal.
And every interview is one set of information that we didn't know about. Now we now heard about a company in Malta that is mining our oil.
For what?
Exactly, and selling it back to us. He mentioned it was one from refinery and they didn't allow him. So now that he now said that one, NNPC now came out to debunk it's a lie. We will get to the bottom of that mining company in Malta. The truth will come out. We cannot keep deceiving ourselves.
No, we can't.
Nigeria is an enterprise, and only a few are benefiting from whatever is going on in that country. The divide between the poor and the rich is getting wider and wider. There's no middle class anymore. Businesses are closing down daily. Daily. Then we should pretend and close our hand. Like I said, an injustice to one is an injustice to all. The day that Nigerians decide to stand up, that day is their morning. Even the Northerners that are speaking now, the day that they start speaking, that is their morning. Good morning to you. Welcome to the table. Now there's now unity, hunger and strife and insecurity. They are now complaining. People that were not complaining before, that were saying that protest was haram, now it's no longer haram. They're not saying that if protest is haram, that means politics is haram. Democratic.
Yeah.
Yes. So now we are now coming together as a unified force. I welcome the conversations. I welcome the unity. I welcome the formidable force that we are becoming. Because different things have been coming and more every day. The youths or the young people or the Nigerian citizens are standing up and saying, enough is enough. We are ending bad governance because this nonsense cannot continue.
On that note, we're going to close the episode here. And do you know what? We'll talk more about politics, and we will promise to always keep it layman terms. We're not going to
enough because I think I got carried. It was a bit passionate.
No. You are layman enough. You are a voter, and you are more, if you will. Sisi is more into politics than I am. I am just upset by the outcome of politics, and I've tried to keep out of it. But we do need to talk more about it because, to be honest with you, we're the ones who affect
us. Yeah. Yes.
It's down to us. The Kenya is still going. Do you know Kenya is still? In fact, let's.
I know, and you know what? In Nigeria, they've adopted that stance as well. She said because the president, some people were killed, he must go.
You need to be very careful with those things because that is the recipe for anarchy. Anyways, on that note, let us have your comments in below. We will go through them. We did say we're going to do an episode on looking through comments we've received in our first year of podcasting. Thank you so much to those of you who are supporting us. And also thank you to those of you who listen often. You are still not subscribed though, but you listen often. But we would like you to subscribe. Let's just get to a place where this channel actually supports the work we're doing and placing into it. So please subscribe. Tell people about us, the Two Nigerian Women. Please press the subscribe button. It's free to do so. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time, I'll say goodbye. God bless. Sissy, do you want to say bye?
Goodbye and God bless, and we'll see you on the other episode.